What's going on, guys? King Trats here, back another video on the channel, and today we are back with episode 2, another episode of the Showdown, where we take some of our popular franchises and we pit them against each other of a similar genre with a similar thing, and you get the idea. It's very simple to explain. If you can see, you already know what we are doing. We have got Pizza Hut up against the dad, Papa John's. Now, I chose the exact same pizza at both places, and I went with, matter of fact, these are sealed, so let's just whip them out. Rip off the tags. Rip off the tags. I have not seen either of these clearly. I wanted to share it with you first. But we went with Pizza Hut's flagship. Yes, that is the stuffed crust pizza. So we've got stuffed crust on both sides, one topping, pepperoni, similar price point. Couldn't be more perfect for each other. Let me take this off. And that's better. Let's go and see the dad's. All right. See, I like this. This is the exact same pizza in both places. Single topping, one pepperoni, large stuffed crust pizza. All right, you know what? I'm not pausing the video. Y'all just gonna have to watch me struggle. That wasn't much of a struggle though, was it? All right, we can live with that. What are we saying? Let's keep down. First things first. How do they look on one side and the other? I would say that Papa John's, it comes a little more well done, as you can see. This has a lot more darker of a crust upon first review. Cheese looks about the same. The size of the pizza looks about the same. The only difference between the two, obviously, is just a little bit of the darker color to it. And Papa John's does come with some extras. If you like this funny pepperoncini, like, more power to you. I don't eat it, but it comes with every pizza they have standard, as well as they did give me 2 dipping sauces, both garlic spicy and garlic regular. So I have to give the slight edge to the dad on just initial come through. But I have to say Pizza Hut's crust does look a little bit better. Now, Pizza Hut, if you don't know, is the OG. I remember the stuffed crust pizza came back out in the 90s. I was super excited about it because I was back when I used to go play Street Fighter with my friends, and I would get this all the time. It was like all the rage because you could eat it backwards, which was like, oh, we're good. Like, whatever. But that is it. Pepperoni-wise, seems about the same equal amount, so it's just going to come down to just a taste thing. They're both the same size, yeah. All right, let's do it. We're going to start with the OG, because we go age first. I'm going to rip this. The cut wasn't really on point. That's not a good sign. They never cut these things all the way through. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see. There's a much better cut from the dad. This is, look, I'm going through everything. All right, so what do we think? What do you think? Which stuffed crust looks better? Pizza Hut or Papa John's? I gotta give a slight edge. I don't know. You know what? I take it back. I give the slight edge to Pizza Hut. I actually like the little bit of the paler to it, but anyway, let's go first bite. I love a stuffed crust pizza. That's tasty. All right, let me get the. This is going to be tough. Pizza Hut is good, man. That's what they've done for a long time, so they have a good grasp on how to get it done. I like the sauce. The cheese, what do you think about the cheese inside and stuff? I remember the commercials used to happen, and it looked so good in the commercials. Then when you actually got one, it was like, what do you think? Not much of a cheese pull there. You don't know what's going to come from the dad, though. As far as taste goes, I like Pizza Hut sauce. There is a pretty decent amount of cheese in here. This is going to have to be really good to pass this. Price point? This one was $15. No, Pizza Hut's was $14. Papa John's was $15. So pretty much the same as far as price goes. And yes, I do factor price in. This was something that people were commenting on the previous Showdown that I had, and I understand where you're coming from, where price shouldn't matter. But I have to say that it does, because people are still spending money to get this food. And I feel like the value should matter when you're spending your money on anything. If I ordered a $30 pizza, which I have, I expected to be light years ahead of a $10 to $15 pizza, which it was. So it does matter. If that same pizza cost $100, not a problem. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I factor that into both. Upon first look, the cheese looks like there's a lot more like a cohesive amount of cheese in here. There's not a huge gap, but the crust does seem a bit thicker on the actual crust part. As far as the rest of it goes, it looks extremely similar. Pizza Hut has a little more of a burn to it as I'm looking at it, and this one doesn't have as much. Let's see. The pepperoni was crispier immediately. Uh-oh. Alright, let's bite the crust. This crust is significantly cheesier, but I like the flavor on Pizza Hut crust a little bit more. But this one makes up major points because it eats like a stuffed crust pizza. This one had a huge gap and there didn't seem to be as much cheese in there. The cheese seems to be the same type of cheese, which is good. This is going to be tough, man. These are tough. Papa John's pizza sauce seems to have a little more, like, twang to it. As crazy as it sounds. A little more robust than Pizza Hut's, which seems a little more traditional. They get points because the pepperoni is crispier than Pizza Hut's as well. The thing I noticed the most is Pizza Hut's crust. Buttery, more flavor to it. But is that going to matter when you're talking about wanting a stuffed crust pizza and having a more amount of cheese, a greater amount in there? Papa John's crust compared to Pizza Hut's has a little less of a flavor to it. It kind of just has a bread taste. But I enjoy Papa John's sauce with that more robustness to it more than Pizza Hut's traditional. The cheese on both is pretty similar. There's not much of a difference between it. Good amount of cheese on both slices. Papa John's pepperoni. Let's do this. Let's do this. This is actually, I'm having a lot of fun doing this, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, let's try Papa John's. Papa John's crust pepperoni is a little more crispy, but Pizza Hut's have a little more flavor to it. This is close. Alright. Cleanse the palate. We're going to go back in for additional. I got to just get one more bite of each. They, like, cut the damn pizza, bro. Sorry. The pepperoni is where the flavor comes from in this pizza. I feel like the sauce more on this one. Nice. One more look at the Pizza Hut crust on the inside. See, there's not as much cheese. There's not as much, but the flavor is much better on Pizza Hut's crust. Okay. One more bite here. Okay. I got my verdict. After trying both, having both sides of the pizza, Papa John's has a little more of flavor to it as far as the sauce, a little more flavor and depth with the cheese on the crust. Pizza Hut has better pepperoni as well as a better crust, but not as much cheese. So if I had to pick between the two, okay, one more bite, promise. Okay, it's real this time. If I had to pick between these two, the battle of stuffed crust, pepperoni, large Papa John's, and Pizza Hut, I would go with the Dad. The Dad in a slight edge. Pizza Hut's is very good. It has a little more of a traditional feel to it with the sauce, and the pepperoni is better, but if I'm looking for a stuffed crust, honestly, this one feels like a stuffed crust with the amount of cheese you have going on in here. And while the sauce isn't as good, they always have these, which makes up for that buttery taste. So that might be a play from the Dad. If you don't like butter, then put your own on it. So I'm gonna do this just to kind of bring it home. Between that and the robustness of the actual sauce on the pizza, the crispness of the pepperoni, it's not a significant enough difference between the buttery crust here as well as the better tasting pepperoni to beat the Dad. And believe it or not, the first time I ever ate a stuffed crust pizza from Papa John's, which was last year, I was in love with Pizza Hut. I actually said that I probably think Papa John's has a better one than Pizza Hut. And now that I've had the two between here, I think I'm right. Papa John's in a very slight edge. But if I had to rate both of these, I would give Pizza Hut a 9 and Papa John's probably about a 9.3. It is close, but the Dad, I would pay the extra $1 for, to me, the superior pizza. And the thing that pushed it over the edge for me was they stuffed the actual crust. That was always a gripe I had with Pizza Hut. So there you have it. The Dad in a slight win. We're going to do more of these, try to do at least once a week. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Do you want to see more from these two? Do you want to see chicken sandwich one is definitely on. I just need a little more time because it's a little more of a drive to get to the ones that I want to do. But besides the chicken sandwich, let me know what you want to see in the comments. That and a slight win. That is going to be the showdown, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. More content. I love Yada hand signs. They made it to YouTube.